The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
It's the greatest story in sports.
Star dropping straight back. Hit as he throws. Has the ball. It is McGee. Touchdown.
I'm Doug Russell, and this is Tales from 1265, an insider's look at football's most storied franchise. A franchise that has had its dynasties.
This is the first Super Bowl trophy, and it's something Green Bay can keep. We're going to have a new trophy each year.
And its rebirths.
Every major football decision will be made by Ron Wolf.
I realize I'm a Green Bay Packer now, and maybe I can prove that I am worth the first-round pick next year, but just got to be patient.
But I was really impressed with the coaching staff, with the whole organization, and with the direction the team is going. I think they have a total commitment to winning.
Tales from 1265 is presented by Nicolay Law, your local award-winning injury lawyers. If you've been injured, get Nicolay, Wisconsin's winning team of lawyers that will get you back in the game. Tales from 1265 is a production of iHeartRadio Podcasts and is available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Millions of Planet Fitness members are finding their big fitness energy. You can join them for just $1 down and $10 a month. That's so nice, I think I'll say it twice. You can join Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month. No commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th. See Home Club for details.
At Clean Choice, we believe the best parts of this world are the simple things. How do we help protect it for future generations? The good news is that it's never been easier to help preserve those simple joys with Clean Choice Energy. Switching to clean electricity is one of the simplest and biggest ways you can help the environment. There's no new equipment needed, no home visit necessary. It only takes 2 minutes to sign up. Visit cleanchoice.com/podcast to learn how simple clean energy can be. That's cleanchoice.com/podcast.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. Do I even know? What show are we? Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
It's April. We made it. I don't know what that means. It's Michigan.
We made it into April. Yeah. Every month we go into, we make it.
Yeah. I guess I was trying to get it from weather-wise, because we live in a state with seasons. Mm-hmm. But still, like, it's a mixed bag for the next at least 2 to 3 weeks.
Sure.
We're going to get them all.
Sure. Every season in 1 month.
You're not really clear to, like, the last week of April. And even then, that just means no more snow.
We're going to get some, would you eat mastodon meatballs?
I don't know.
Did we talk about, like, I know.
Are we going to bring the mastodon back just to kill it?
Well, I think you had mentioned that they had, like, started cloning, like they had found some mastodon DNA, right? Or is it mastodon or is it a woolly mammoth?
It was woolly.
What's the difference?
Right?
What is the difference? I think there is a difference.
One's a pretty kick-ass band, dude.
Let's see. Meatball made up of mammoth DNA. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. Mastodon's better. Mastodon is a kick-ass band.
What's the difference between a mammoth and a
Mastodon is music that you put on when you actually want to, like, summon a devil.
No, I mean, as far as aren't they both big hairy elephants? What's the difference?
I think one of them has that, like, that Mo from Three Stooges haircut. I think, and the other one doesn't. Like, I think, woolly mammoths are definitely woollier than mastodons.
Well, it's in the name.
Yeah. Yeah, what?
It's called a woolly mastodon.
Why woolly mammoth, though? As to distinguish it from what? The other?
Yeah, right.
The naked mole mammoth that we're all familiar with? Yes, the common short hair mammoth. Common short hair mammoth of South America.
Whoa, I haven't heard mastodon in a while.
Is this newer stuff? I haven't.
I've never heard them like be this heavy.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean as far as the vocals.
They kind of get. They're kind of all over the place with the vocals. Because like their more recent stuff, I think, is way more melodic vocally. Well, also I think a mastodon lived closer to like the end of the dinosaur period, maybe. whereas woolly mammoths are Ice Age. So, like, woolly mammoths did actually coexist with early man.
What's to say? One was around with people and one wasn't.
Yes, yeah. That's
so the mastodon perhaps begat the mammoth. Is that what we're getting at?
I wonder. I don't know. You would think so, but it could be maybe they have the same common ancestor. Who knows?
So is Ted Nugent involved in the mastodon meatballs?
But like we think that, I mean, I'm stuck on your question though of like, did one beget the other? And it does seem logical, and I'm just speaking off the top of my head. I'm sure we could Google this and find out a correct answer. But we talked about how evolution likes the crab form a lot, especially obviously when you're dealing with aquatic creatures. And that there's like all these different types of crabs, but it's not like there's one common ancestor. These are all parallel paths that evolution took that all landed them on this crab shape because it is just so efficient. So it is possible.
Are we heading towards crab people?
So it is possible yeah, we could be. Yeah. Like if I wonder gravity wouldn't get stronger. Like if gravity got stronger or we moved to a place where gravity was a lot stronger, I bet you we would develop more crab-like bodies. 'Cause look at everything that's under the ocean, like that has to deal with higher pressures like that. I mean, the gravity effects are the same, but you have the compounding pressure of the water.
Oh,
so you get all these like flat shapes, all these rays and skates and fish, and you're either flat or round or you're really, really squishy, right?
Right. Yeah, if a mermaid existed, she'd be all flat.
Yeah, right. She'd have
short and stubby.
She'd have all flat tits and shit. They'd go into her armpits when she laid down. I'm sorry, that's vulgar.
So she'd look like Ursula.
Why couldn't she have been the other kind of mermaid? With the fish part on the top. So yeah, they are. This is what they're doing with the DNA. They're going to make meatballs. By the way, I'm sorry. What was the song that you were playing? I was only half paying attention.
Oh, South Park.
Crab. Crab people.
Forget what episode I was watching it the other day. I was like, oh, I have crab people.
It was.
It
registered that it was
Queer
like,
Eye. It was the
It was
the Queer Eye episode.
It totally registered that it was like wholly appropriate, but what didn't register is like how weird it was that you found a wholly appropriate song to fit a discussion of people turning into crabs. There's no original thoughts. It's all parallel evolution.
If only my recall could be harnessed for good.
Well, they aren't intended for human consumption, these meatballs.
Why? Then who are they for? Why are we making them? Just to be like, hey man, we made mastodon balls.
It's
mammoth balls.
And it's even a stretch to call it mammoth meat. It's more like lab-made lamb mingled with tiny amounts of mammoth DNA. Is that close enough to call it dino DNA?
Why, then? Then what are we...
I don't know, to find out who's allergic to it?
I feel like we just wasted our time.
Like, what percentage of the population is going to be allergic to mammoth meat?
Like, it's mammoth. Well, like, not really.
You don't think so? That is a concern, actually.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something that we haven't been exposed to in forever. I mean, that's what allergies are all about. Like, if you don't have exposure to it, then your body doesn't know how to react to it.
Other than vegetarians who haven't eaten it for a while and lack, like, the enzymes to process.
I mean,
who's allergic to meat?
Right.
I hear I'm allergic to chicken.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to fish. No, you just don't like fish.
Shellfish.
Stop being a dick.
Shellfish. It's something about shellfish.
Okay,
yeah.
There is a shellfish
That's
allergy.
the only one that I could think of, though. But like nobody's like, oh, I can't eat lamb. I'm allergic to it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they say it, but they're just saying it because they don't like it.
Can't eat pork, bro. Got that pork allergy.
Yeah. What really fucked all this up is the fact that waiters can't listen, right? They can't. If you say no mustard, they just hear mustard and they put mustard on it. And so you have to say, I'm allergic to mustard.
That's why I am a proponent of the app.
Yep.
I was married to a vegetarian. Everything was a custom order. You know, people look at you when you go to McDonald's, say, I would like a cheeseburger with just cheese, onions, pickles, and ketchup. They go, the 16-year-old says, what?
You have to explain it to them.
Yeah, no, if you order it yourself, they just fucking make it, and nobody gives a fuck, because it just shows up as an order. Like, no one has to go get their manager to be, I don't know what to do.
She looks at you like you're telling her, just fuck the cup, just put it in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend who can't eat anything without adding something to it. Right? Anything that she has presented, no matter how it's made. You could have said, we analyzed your dreams of your favorite food, and we found the perfect combination and before she tasted it, she would put like a touch of anything. Hey, it's a little bit of dressing, a little salt, a little.
You're like, yeah, well, she didn't is put bacon on it.
It needs something that I added to it.
Right.
What?
To make it their own.
Right, exactly.
Well, hey, that's why the app is your friend, right? You can make all your crazy customizations you want. Which, by the way, to get the old school beef burrito, that's how you got to do it with Taco Bell?
Yeah.
You got to, well, I've learned, you got to order the beefy 5-layer and get it minus fucking everything and get extra beef, add onions, red sauce, cheese. Done.
Okay.
You're getting the old school. Back when you could be like, I would like a beef burrito, and they would go, yes, sir, here you go. Now they go, what? Which kind? Like, no. God damn it. You used to make it just like the bean one, and it was just beef instead, and it was delicious. And somewhere around like the 90s, it went away. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of that one.
Like, what is wrong with a basic bitch beef burrito? Wow, that's a lot of... It's quite the alliteration.
A basic bitch beef burrito?
It's delicious.
Coming to Taco Bell.
And it's Taco Bell, and I know it's not beef.
The B cubed. Yeah. the quadruple B.
Yeah. And yeah, stop yelling at your speaker. I know it's Taco Bell, and I know we're working with grade D-. Okay, I'm aware.
Speaking of implications in advertising and dinosaurs, if we did, I saw a billboard on the way here that was for some sort of like dinosaur show at a museum, right? And it had, I want to say it kind of looked like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, probably just a raptor, but it was just looking really big. You know, the thing is, raptors aren't that big, but when you just show one dinosaur all by itself, you know, with like a volcano in the background,
it's all lonely.
Every dinosaur is going to look big. So the dinosaur is very, it's very big on the billboard. It's like, coming at you. And the text behind it says, size matters.
Ha! I've seen this billboard.
Yeah. And this is what happens.
We might as well just say, penis!
Right. Like, is that what you intended? You intended for people to correlate, like, your size? Like, I get what you're doing, and it's effective.
We're talking about it right now.
Sure. Only I don't remember what it was for. I just remember it says size matters. There's a dinosaur on it.
See their billboard, think dicks.
Yeah. Or is it that the meaning of some phrases gets so fucked out? It's so much in the vernacular that it loses its meaning, right? Like, when people say, "Oh, that sucks," right?
Oh yeah, it used to be.
Where does that come from?
Yeah, it used to mean sucks dick.
It does mean sucks dick.
Well, yeah, like 40 years ago.
I mean, if you're gonna follow the evolution,
like this sucks.
Yeah.
Just at some point when I was a little kid, I went from my parents being like, "Don't say that," to like when I was in high school, and my parents even being like, "Well, that fucking sucks."
Yeah.
Well, not dropping the F-bomb, but
yes.
You know what I'm saying.
So I don't know. It baffles me that like. How many people looked at that and said, okay, like, oh, I get it, approved, right?
It's like that statue in Boston, that Martin Luther King statue.
Or do you think it's...
Like, again, you're right. There was a series of signatures that went, yup.
But in this, do you think
good?
Do you think it was that like they all got the joke, they thought it was funny, and it's like, oh, it's a little racy, but like it's good? Or do you think they legitimately just looked at it and went, oh yeah, size matters? That's a thing people say. They say it like it's a joke. Yeah, size matters. Like, oh, should I get the large? Oh, you should definitely get the large. Size matters. That's why you get the big.
Telling them, you could be the edgy dinosaur exhibit.
Yeah, I don't know.
The one that talks about dicks.
They were like the ad execs in the Mr. Show sketch, where all their ads have people swearing in them. It starts with the box hutch. They have an ad. They're presenting to this board their advertisement for their product, Box Hutch. And it's got Janine Garofalo's in the ad that they make. And I think it's Brian Posehn. Or it might have been Paul F. Tompkins, actually. And
it's quite a murderer's row. And mentioned there.
And she's got this cardboard box, and she's putting all the bags in it. All the, like, paper bags that they get from the grocery store. And the husband says, oh, honey, what are you doing? What do you got there? And she's like, oh, it's the new bag hutch. And he goes, no shit. And so afterwards, they're like, yeah, the commercial was great, but like, why does he say no shit? And they're like, oh, you want to play it safe, This is the 90s. You got to be edgy now. And then, like, it just keeps getting worse and worse until, like, their commercial for some vague tech platform is like a man standing on a mountain going, damn it, fuck, shit, balls.
Bags. It always seems like you've got too many
just
bags.
The bag hutch.
Help me.
See how close I am. How's my memory?
Now there's new bag hutch.
It's definitely Janine Garofalo, right?
Yes.
And holds up to 12 bags.
And like a middle-aged lady wig.
Honey, where are all the bags?
In the bag hutch.
Oh, shit.
Visit a Globocam. Take it from me. I love you. Sam, it's Pit Bag.
Yeah, that's the bag hutch commercial. And then it ends up with them, like, just berating the board.
This isn't going to work anymore. Globocam owns 20...
Sorry. Autoplay. No, the husband, I think that was Tom Wilson. Biff.
Tom Wilson. Biff.
Back to the Future. Biff.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was the husband it looked like in the
no shit.
sketch. Was he on this
No shit?
Yeah.
I just did the line. That's another great commercial parody. The many commercials for Vonnie's mustard mayonnaise. It's mustard and mayonnaise mixed together, much like Goobers.
Is it?
And they do this.
This April Fool shit's out of hand, dude.
No, it's a fake ad on Mr. Show.
Oh,
and
no, I think that shit's real now.
It probably is. That's what. Not to talk about my girlfriend too much, but she does that all the time. Every time we have fries, she takes mustard and mayonnaise and mixes it together. Makes mustard and mayonnaise.
I know that there's this already been out for a few years. There's definitely a mayo ketchup thing that's out there.
Oh yeah, that's been out. But their commercial for the mustard mayonnaise is, a guy making sandwiches and talking about all the time, like the voiceover is talking about all the time that he's wasting by, spreading mustard and then mayo on bread. And it's like his daughter is like coming up to him, like wants to play. Daddy, I'm graduating. Like doesn't have time. Like it's eventually like you see his daughter as an old lady and she's like, Daddy, I'm dying. He's like, I'm almost done, honey. And he's still spreading separate mustard and mayonnaise on sandwiches. Like if only he could have used mustard mayonnaise.
Audience, let me ask you a question. How many times has this happened to you?
He just fumbles a loaf of bread.
Or this?
She grabs a loaf of bread and acts like she cut her hand.
Familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Bread is one of the worst things in the world. But we've always needed it. Until now. By burning 3 different types of meat together, the Jesse Jordan meat machine takes bread out of the equation.
He was ahead of KFC on this one.
Right? Like, that's what I thought about when they came out with the double down. We should bring it back.
And it's healthy. Hi, I'm Dr. Leo Spaceman. I'm a working physician with a degree from the Ho Chi Minh
Call
City
Dr.
School of
Spaceman.
Medicine. Dr. Spaceman, is it true that bread eats away out your brain? We have no way of knowing because the powerful bread lobby keeps stopping my research. Well, folks, bread will never maybe attack your brain.
Chris Parnell is just a gift to comedy. Like, I hope people appreciate how good he is.
Cyril?
Like, yes, he's not going to carry, a big comedy. He's not your lead actor, but he just makes everything that he touches better.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised they didn't mix him into the Parks and Rec universe somehow.
Yeah. And he gets typecast, but he's got range.
I'm surprised he didn't end up with a crazy VO career. I mean, I'm sure he has one, but
he might have one of those secret VO careers where he just can tweak it a little bit and we don't recognize. But usually I can pick up on that shit.
Or didn't end up with a huge radio career before he even went to SNL. Like his voice,
he's got pipes, man. Yeah,
that voice is.
He's got that frequency that just cuts through for radio, man.
Yeah.
Like he's got the bass, but he's also got that upper nasal that like really helps give it a little bit of edge. He's got the type of voice that you pay attention to, and he knows how to use it.
Dude, no shit. Dude, Heinz makes mayo must.
Oh, yeah. No shit. I got to check that out. I'll get some for my girl. Speaking of
it's like $15.
Animation shit, Chris Parnell, I don't know, like, has any of the shows that Chris Parnell has been on Adult Swim? They've all been like, spawn of Adult Swim.
Well, his biggest one is, as far as I know, he's Cyril.
Yeah. But that was
Archer.
Yeah, but that was FX.
Is Archer still on?
I think it is, yeah.
Really? Was it supposed to end like 10 years ago?
But anyway, Adult Swim is they're going to make a push to like really make Adult Swim a thing again. They're expanding it from 7 till whenever, and they're going to put new content out there.
This is... You kind of just hit it with what you just said. To me, they lost me when they started they started forgetting what they were.
Yeah.
When they started doing all the... I get it, I was aging out of it too. But at the same time, like, it was like, okay. Like, just some of the shit they were... I mean, I was even on board with Tim and Eric, and that shit was weird.
Yes. Well, this is owned by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers has had a tumultuous recent history. And, with Discovery taking them over and making all these cuts and all these weird decisions, seeing that they were actually willing to invest in Adult Swim, even though it's a platform that's for basic cable.
You know what it is? It's probably where the most eyes are right now for them.
I guess, but...
Well, if you got kids, you don't. First of all, who's got cable anymore? And second of all, Netflix has their own fucking kids thing.
Yeah.
What do you need the Cartoon Network for during the day?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why you'd push that like banner. I understand it's like something that it's a product, right? Adult Swim is something that people know. They know what it is generally, or at least we thought we did. Like you're saying, it's definitely changed. But anyway, all that to say, like, I heard the news. I was like, okay, this is promising. They've been making a lot of changes. They've been pulling back a lot. They're definitely trying to redirect themselves. I'm just not sure where they're pointing it. The fact that one of the big announcements for where they are going to grow is Adult Swim is definitely heartening. But
they forgot they were Stoner TV. They lost sight of that.
Then they announced the first show.
Oh, boy.
Right. So
I don't like your tone.
Warner Brothers owns Batman and Superman, right? They have a Batman show that is the basically genetic offspring of I think it was the Adventures of Batman, whatever the really stylized Batman show that was huge.
The one in the 90s where he talked like this.
Yes.
Where Mark Hamill was the Joker?
Yes, the one that everyone fucking watched. The one that was fucking huge.
I fucking watched that one.
That still sells on DVD and Blu-ray and stuff today. That still people watch it on streaming. People are still huge fans of it. There's comic book spin. There's currently a comic book series that is still that's carrying on those stories.
It was on after school, and it wasn't terrible.
And when that cartoon was out, the Batman animated adventure comic book was the #1 selling Batman book. It was outselling the regular Batman books. So all that to say that it was a fucking smash hit. They're doing it again. They're going back to that well and trying to recreate that magic, which I fully support because I know the creative team that they have on this, and they have great writers and creators, and it's going to be a good show. And they sold it to Amazon. Instead of putting that on Adult Swim, instead of putting that on Cartoon Network or anything, any of their HBO streamers or whatever, they sold it off. For Adult Swim, they've got a Superman show where Superman, Lois, and Jimmy Olsen are in their like early 20s. You know, they're all hip in the big city, and they're journalists, and also Superman's like saving people on the side. So it's a really, it's
Superman's a side hustle.
They've tried to do this so many times with Superman. It's not going to work. There's nothing going to be interesting about it.
I mean,
They think that because it's the fallacy that what's interesting about Superman is he leads a dual life of journalist and superhero, and that's not what's interesting about him. Both those are aspects of the same character.
How old is Superman?
The dichotomy is the alien versus the human, the farm boy versus the city boy.
Are we 100 years into Superman yet?
80 plus.
Are we officially to the point where it might be
fucked
time
out?
to say, yes, Superman is fucked out?
No, because when you get icons like that, they only gain in meaning. And those characters get stretched, and they get, especially with DC, we get multiple aspects of them. We get to see all different types of Supermen that are vastly different from each other. But it's symbology. And we can take symbology and we can imbue it with whatever meaning we want to. Superman is a storytelling tool. And it's a great one because there's something about that image that cuts right to the core of how we want to think. Like, he represents hope, and he represents hope not because of the story, just because of how he looks. He not only looks strong and capable, he looks good. And you can take that and you can write whatever story you need to with that.
It's because he's white.
So no. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, I guess eventually everything has a possibility of going away or being overshadowed or just being lost. But like, we're still telling stories about Greek gods. And I believe that thousands of years from now, that this mythology that was created in comic books, I believe it will live on.
Clock's got to be ticking. They better start squeezing all the money they can out of that
I mean,
shit.
You're talking about movies. Like,
public domain is coming in what, 20 years?
No. It's totally different when you're talking about, because it's not like Superman is owned by one person who then died or has to will it to somebody. Mm-hmm. It's not like you have a situation where it's the creators who own it, and once they die, there's a certain limit on before it can go public domain. It's owned by a company.
Oh.
The company can just keep renewing. As long as they're still making stuff based off of that IP, they still own it. It would have to go dormant for a long time. And these days, people aren't letting go of anything. There's all kinds of weird projects out there. Like, people will make mini movies and, write miniature novels and stuff that like never get published, just so that they can be on record of like, we made this, we're still using this IP.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
It's the greatest story in sports.
Star dropping straight back, hit as he throws, has the ball, it is McGee, touchdown.
I'm Doug Russell, and this is Tales from 1265, an insider's look at football's most storied franchise. A franchise that has had its dynasties.
This is the first Super Bowl trophy, and it's something Green Bay can keep. We're going to have a new trophy each year.
And its rebirths.
Every major football decision will be made by Ron Wolf.
I realize I'm a Green Bay Packer now, and maybe I can prove that I am worth the first-round pick next year, but just got to be patient.
But I was really impressed with the coaching staff, with the whole organization, and with the direction the team is going. I think they have a total commitment to winning.
Tales from 1265 is presented by Nicolay Law, your local award-winning injury lawyers. If you've been injured, get Nicolay, Wisconsin's winning team of lawyers that will get you back in the game. Tales from 1265 is a production of iHeartRadio Podcasts and is available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
It's the greatest story in sports.
Star dropping straight back. Hit as he throws. Has the ball. It is McGee. Touchdown.
I'm Doug Russell, and this is Tales from 1265, an insider's look at football's most storied franchise. A franchise that has had its dynasties.
Vinny, this is the first Super Bowl trophy, and it's something Green Bay can keep. We're going to have a new trophy each year.
And its rebirths.
Every major football decision will be made by Ron Wolf.
I realize I'm a Green Bay Packer now, and maybe I can prove that I am worth the first-round pick next year, but just got to be patient.
But I was really impressed with the coaching staff, with the whole organization, and with the direction the team is going. I think they have a total commitment to winning.
Tales from 1265 is presented by Nicolay Law, your local award-winning injury lawyers. If you've been injured, get Nicolay, Wisconsin's winning team of lawyers that will get you back in the game. Tales from 1265 is a production of iHeartRadio Podcasts and is available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Leftovers or the DMV
number 97
or house cleaning or Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
It's the greatest story in sports.
Star dropping straight back. Hit as he throws. Has the ball. It is McGee. Touchdown.
I'm Doug Russell, and this is Tales from 1265, an insider's look at football's most storied franchise. A franchise that has had its dynasties.
Vinny, this is the first Super Bowl trophy, and it's something Green Bay can keep. We're going to have a new trophy each year.
And its rebirths.
Every major football decision will be made by Ron Wolf.
I realize I'm a Green Bay Packer now, and maybe I can prove that I am worth the first-round pick next year, but just got to be patient.
But I was really impressed with the coaching staff, with the whole organization, and with the direction the team is going. I think they have a total commitment to winning.
Tales from 1265 is presented by Nicolay Law, your local award-winning injury lawyers. If you've been injured, get Nicolay, Wisconsin's winning team of lawyers that will get you back in the game. Tales from 1265 is a production of iHeartRadio Podcasts and is available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
A lot of the Hardy Boys books became public domain this year.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's something that...
The Color Out of Space by H.P. Lovecraft. Oh, the jazz singer.
I mean, all of H.P. Lovecraft should be... H.P. Lovecraft is a huge racist.
Uncle Tom's Cabin. Old Man River became public domain this year.
The song Old Man River?
Yeah. The I Scream, You Scream, We All Scream for Ice Cream. That became public domain this year.
What? I didn't know that
apparently was a song.
Well, let's hear it. So this was, this would have been like the Roaring 20s, probably. Is that when the Ice Cream song was made? Nope, much later than that.
This one.
What is it? Oh, this is Ice Cream. This is Ice Cream Man. Isn't that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually an old blues song.
Yeah.
Tell you what it is. I'm your ice cream man.
Stick to rock, Dave.
I'm your ice cream man.
Dude, I don't know. I fucking love him, dude. I don't know why. I don't know why I love him so much.
I get it. I ain't mad at him. Like, I think he's got a lot of fucking charm.
He's a clown to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do cocaine.
Yeah, right? Yeah. He's the rock and roll clown.
Yeah, that's who he's based on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Fuck yeah.
I'm the rock and roll clown. I do cocaine. Oh, what was his name?
Bunzo, something Funzo, or something like that.
Dr. Roxo.
Roxo.
I do cocaine.
What was his big hit?
No, now we gotta find that shit.
There's a big hit song that he had. Have you ever really did video with him like skiing?
Yes. I'm just a rock and roll clown.
Of course. Right, like I'm just a gigolo, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing this, and yeah, this is totally making fun of David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
This is Paradise.
Yeah. Even the way that the vocals are produced.
Just mountains of cocaine in the video.
It's gonna snow. Listeners, if you don't know, this is from Metalocalypse, if you want to look it up. What's the bass on this? It's just this farting.
Yeah, it's a poorly produced DI box.
Yeah. And they're doing like the what's his name with the Jack Daniels bass? He just does the lines. What a great show. So that's what Adult Swim was all about.
Yeah.
And now
in a band, that was a home run for me.
Yeah, no, and to take its place, a hip young Superman. Oh, I saw that John Wick, the fourth and final John Wick movie, although we won't be done with the John Wick universe, that's for sure.
What? It's John Wick. It's Dr. Roxo. Sorry. So, you liked it?
Oh, it was great. It really...
Does he get revenge?
Yeah.
On all parties involved.
Yeah, this isn't really the type of movie where you can spoil stuff. I mean, it's not a complicated story. And I'll just tell you, I'm going to spoil it. But he dies at the end. John Wick dies at the end.
Oh, so you're saying unless there's prequels, it's over?
Yeah. Well, I think Keanu is going to probably show up on one of the two projects. I think one of them's going to, no, it would be, I think the TV series is going to take place in the 70s. There's going to be a prequel movie that he's going to pop up in. But yeah, as far as the story of John Wick, it goes no further. And I don't know how you could tell that story any other way. Like, he has to die at the end of it. There's just no way. I mean, I was watching it. By halfway through, I'm like, if he's not dead at the end of this movie, I'm going to be mad.
Oh, really?
And I'm rooting for him to accomplish his mission, but also like
just all the shit he's pulling. It's like, dude, you're going to die.
Well, it's not like, law of averages. There's only so many bullets you can dodge. He has to die at some point. It was he deserves to die.
Oh,
right. Like he He deserves to get his revenge, and he deserves to die. That's the kind of the dichotomy you're in when you're watching the John Wick movies. But yeah, it was a long one, but it flew by. You know, there was one point in the movie where they were like really ramping up to that final confrontation, and then they take another sidetrack and they're like, just kidding, he's going to have to kill 50 more people. And you're like, oh, come on. But then like 2 minutes into that scene, you're like, let's go.
Like, yeah, can you kill 50 more?
Yeah. And, you know, everything gets ramped up like every sequel does. You know, that's part of why sequels mostly fail, is because they feel like they constantly have to add to the last one. This one does in ways that I think are respectable. You know, they've always had the like kind of bulletproof suits, or the jacket. That was a thing from like, I think it starts in the second one, if I'm not mistaken. It might have popped up in the first one. But somebody's got a suit jacket that has like Kevlar lining, and that allows him to like stop bullets and stuff. And now in this movie, everybody's got it, and it's a whole fucking suit.
Damn.
So, yeah, there's
shooting me, bro. Whatever, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't even really like, the thing is, it's not realistic at all, because even if you got shot with a full Kevlar vest on, you're going to get knocked back. You're not going to get up. You're not going to be able to breathe properly for a minute. Like, it's going to do some damage. You're going to have a bruise. It's going to hurt like fucking hell.
Yeah.
It doesn't bounce the bullet back and just go, ha ha.
Yeah, you just stopped an object traveling at high velocity.
Yeah.
It might sting.
So, but if you're willing to accept and the fantasy elements like that are small. It's like, accept that there's technology for these suits and that bullets don't really travel as fast as you think.
You need military
yeah.
artillery to take these people out?
And then everything else is perfectly plausible. Bill Skarsgård, who played the It Clown, is in it as he's the like main antagonist of the film. He plays a French guy with a ridiculous accent, but he makes it work. I really loved his character. We get a little bit of the late, great Lance Reddick, who unfortunately has a very small scene in which he gets shot in the head.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. But I don't, like, what do you do in that case? Like, I'm sure they talked about all options, but like, you don't want to cut him. Because why cut him out of the movie? Right? Because he died? Like, do you think he'd want to be, you know, cut out of a movie just because he died? And then you, like, do you want to change it? Oh, let's make him live. Well, you can't do that. The guy's dead. You can't bring him back for reshoots. So, yeah, you just gotta like,
give him one more check. Get him in the movie to die.
This guy just died, and a week later we come out with a movie where this guy dies.
Oops.
Yeah. But, you know, he was a pretty big part of, I don't want to say the second movie where he goes to the hotel. I don't know. They all kind of mush together into one movie. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's because the story does kind of flow nicely between all four movies, that I don't have a clear delineation between like where, you know, movie one ends, movie two. Probably the best performance in the whole movie though is Donnie Yen, who plays another assassin, somebody who was friends with John Wick at some point, and now has been tasked with taking out John Wick.
Oh.
And he's blind, and he's called Kane, and he has this cane with like a sword in it. Yeah, it's spelled C-A-I-N-E, but yeah, I think it's intentional, obviously.
I can't see you, but I have to kill you.
Yeah, and Donnie Yen, he's a legit black belt. Like, he was doing all his own stunts and shit. And he did all his own stunts, but like, unlike most of these stunt guys, like, he can really act too. You know, like Jackie Chan is a great stunt coordinator and martial artist and just an okay actor.
Yeah, and an actor.
an actor good enough that you're like, I'm not mad at it, but like, let's get back to
there are no superlatives
kicks and punches
in front of he's just an actor.
Yeah. Donnie Yen knocked this part out of the park, man. He was so good. And the way that he fought, because like he has to kind of feel everything out, but he's using a sword and a gun, and just, and listening. And it seems fantastical, but like the way that they do it, he even uses these like, when you walk into a store and they have the motion sensors, the ding dong. Mm-hmm. He has those that he like pops up around the place. Mm-hmm. And he's got some guys that are following him. And so he can hear when they walk, here's the ding dong, and he just pew, shoots them.
Damn.
But yeah, he is just fantastic. He's fantastic to watch. And he also, again, delivers like a stunning performance.
I call him the silent assassin, but he's the blind assassin.
Yeah. A lot more Ian McShane in this one. Who, Ian McShane, right?
No.
That guy?
That is. Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. He played, what else was he in? He was in Deadwood, but I don't think, did you watch Deadwood?
No.
American Gods. He popped up on the Pirates of the Caribbean. Hercules. I don't remember him being on Game of Thrones. Oh, a lot of talk about John Wick 5. Maybe he's not dead.
Did you not hang out for after the credits ended? You didn't see the hand
I did
come up?
I actually stayed till and watched there was a very short scene at the very end of the credits. And it just wraps up a separate storyline that didn't involve John Wick. But I was actually really glad that they did.
Was it Keanu going, Wild Stallions?
Yeah. No, like Donnie Yen's character has an interaction with somebody, and he says, we'll meet again. And then he doesn't say we'll meet again, but he's basically saying that.
That reminds me, I never saw that new Bill and Ted movie.
I didn't see it either. And I need to watch it because I think, Bill and Ted actually holds up as a comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've
watched it as an adult, and I'm like, yeah,
still funny.
Although, like,
it's got a lot of great lines in it.
Yeah. Although I did recall thinking, as an older person, that the storyline with Bill's dad and a high school student, since it was like a 21-year-old, was weird. How he dumped his wife and married someone that was like a fresh or a senior when they were freshmen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. That's yeah.
I mean, as someone who's probably now the age of that guy in the movie, I'm like, right on. It does seem a little weird how they went about it in the movie.
Disney got rid of Ike Perlmutter. He was
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, so he was he's the guy who purchased Marvel and sold it to Disney. Right? So when Marvel was in trouble,
the middleman?
Yeah. Let's see. He's a billionaire. He sold the comic book giant Marvel to Disney in 2009.
And he's been kept on as like creative consultant or some dumb shit.
I don't know what his title was. I think he was just head or chair of Marvel chair of Marvel Entertainment.
There's a numero on the halls at Disney. Hey, it's the Marvel guy.
Well, whatever his position, I mean, he definitely had a position of power, but it wasn't, he didn't have total control over Marvel because at one point he wanted to fire Kevin Feige, the guy who everyone is praising now, that is able to spin gold out of the straw of the Marvel universe. Not even like the Spider-Man and what are the other? Without Spider-Man and the X-Men, he was still able to like create a huge, colossal franchise.
He's the basic bitch whisperer.
And yeah, Ike Perlmutter was just a money guy. I mean, like he gets a lot of bad press, but like the guy saved Marvel. Who knows what they'd be doing with it these days if he didn't step in. Like he obviously made some right decisions.
There are Marvel characters now that are venerated that when we were kids were a joke. Like, I remember,
Right.
I remember you're making a movie out of Iron Man? Are you shitting me? Are you out of ideas?
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest movie that year, right?
But that's due to people like Kevin Feige. Again, he didn't do the first Iron Man movie. But what's his name? Swingers dude.
Favreau.
Yeah, Jon Favreau was. It was. They've made the right decisions in picking the people that have the vision. Ike Perlmutter has business vision. He doesn't have creative vision, and I think that's part of why they eventually let him go, and why they actually had to kind of hobble him. It seems in recent years.
If he's got business vision, that means they paid him to go away.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they sold. Yeah, he helped orchestrate the sale to Disney for $4 billion, and part of that was Disney agreed to continue to employ him as chairman of Marvel. He was also not well liked internally at Marvel when he owned it, because at the time, let's see, he bought them before they started making movies. They were in deep trouble. They had already sold off their IP. They sold off Hulk, X-Men, Spider-Man, everything that they could, Fantastic Four, all the different studios, all in the hopes of just keeping Marvel afloat so they could continue to just hold on to their IP and create books.
I mean, guys who turn sinking ships around usually aren't well liked.
Yeah. Well, there's notorious stories in the office of don't throw away that paper clip. Like levels of cheapness. Like nobody's in this room. The lights stay off. But look, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. It's not crazy to say if it wasn't for Ike Perlmutter, we wouldn't have all these awesome Marvel movies. Like, I don't know how, and maybe somebody else with $1 billion would have stepped in and seen that opportunity. But man, I just don't think it would have happened without Ike Perlmutter. But that doesn't mean that I am disagreeing with Disney's decision. I think it's long past due for him to move on to something else. Obviously you've got vision for what can make money. Go make some other money, right? That's your job. Move on. Right? You made billions of dollars off of Marvel. That doesn't mean that, you have any idea what to do with the characters. So, all right. So I've got one cannabis related story, not our usual type of fare, but this story is just too crazy to pass up.
So where in Florida did this happen?
Palm Beach.
Ah!
Definitely a Florida story. In a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot.
Oh. We've checked so many boxes, and you said one sentence.
Yeah. And a bit of a trigger warning. This story involves some sexual battery, some sexual abuse.
Ooh, is there feces?
But there's feces. No, what?
Yeah, you
That's
never
what
know.
it means.
It's Florida.
But this story just doesn't add up. So this is from let's see, mycbs4.com. I guess the local CBS affiliate in Florida. A man is accused of sexually assaulting a teenager while the two were doing drugs in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. Palm Beef.
Oh boy. That's what the gay guys call it. They go there for spring break.
The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in Florida arrested 40-year-old Roger Cook on charges of lewd or lascivious battery and contributing to the delinquency of a child. Deputies started investigating after a 15-year-old alleged victim reported he was sexually battered by Cook, an ex-drug dealer, while buying vape carts from him. All right. Just to go off on a slight tangent here, there is a new bill to legalize cannabis in Florida that looks like it might have a good chance of passing. They have a really restrictive medical program right now. So,
That's the big one down south.
I know this kid's 15. He'd still have to score his weed illegally, but this would cut down on ridiculous situations like this where people are meeting in Dunkin' Donuts parking lots to buy vape carts.
And then getting beaten off. Is that where this is going?
According to the arrest report, the incident occurred on September or November of 2021, so they don't even remember when.
That's been good shit.
Cook was driving a blue BMW sedan. When he pulled up in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot, he asked the boy if he wanted to stay and hang out.
Never.
Boy thought this was weird because Cook was in his 30s.
Yes.
But the teen decided to stay and smoked in Cook's car. Then things took a turn when the teen claimed Cook wanted to receive oral sex.
Oh.
According to the arrest report, the boy said Cook pushed his head down. At first, the teen refused, but Cook continued to push his head down again. The teen said he, meaning himself, the teen was, quote, out of his mind from the marijuana, unquote, and couldn't move. There's no amount of...
Go with paralyzed with fear, buddy.
Yes.
Makes your story more believable.
There's no amount of cannabis that I could ingest that would make me unable to resist sucking a stranger's dick.
No, wait, so he's saying I ended up sucking this guy's dick because I was so high? Is that where this is going?
The boy told deputies he performed oral sex on Cook for what he believed to be 45 minutes.
The full Jackson? The full 45 minutes?
45 minutes? That's more than a full Jackson. That's like, this guy's having problems. Or this kid's technique was bad.
45 minutes. Well, he's in his 40s, you know. He's built up a tolerance. But come on. Well, dude, he's 15, so I mean, it's all not going to turn out well for this 40-year-old guy. But this is like I blew a dude and now I feel bad about it, right?
I mean, I don't know. Like
the age is what makes it fucking.
Sure, the age is but for 45 minutes, and you couldn't. Like, there's no mention of a weapon. I mean, the guy looks intimidated. He's a big guy. So, like, maybe he's just physically intimidated, but you couldn't just leave? You couldn't have gotten out of the car?
Repeat after me. Hey, I do not want to blow you.
No.
Like, that sentence was not on the table? I would rather not suck your dick, sir.
Or this one. I love marijuana, but not that much.
Yeah. While I love weed, I do not love performing oral sex on a male 25 years older than me.
Yeah.
It's female, we could talk. In the scenario, I'm the 15-year-old boy.
But 45 minutes?
Right.
Now, then again, you know, this kid couldn't get down the exact date. It was either November or December. And
I think I would remember
when you're sucking dick.
When I blew a dude against my will for 45 minutes. That would probably be time stamped in my brain.
Yes, but also your sense of time would be warped.
Few years.
Right? If you sucked a dick for 3 minutes, it would feel like 45, right?
But now, I guess I would remember that day, that calendar date would be burned into my brain is what I'm getting at. It'd be like November 13th. That's the day I blew a dude.
Also, unless you've got like a weapon where you could easily, like, and even then you wouldn't want to like stab or shoot somebody that's going down on you, but you could at least threaten them and say, hey, if you bite me or something. But once the dick is in your mouth, you hold the power, right?
Yeah. It's called your teeth.
Like, you've got them.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? 10 minutes. I'm being liberal with it. 10 minutes into a forced blowjob, I'm chomping down so I get the fuck out of there.
Enough of this shit. So your limit is 10. That's what you're saying?
Well,
because 11 is where you turn gay. Yeah. 11 minutes you turn
at
gay.
10 minutes and 1 second you are gay.
I don't know. Like, I don't feel good about laughing about 15-year-olds getting sexually abused. I don't think that in itself is funny, but kid, your story does not add up in any way.
Yeah, he wasn't restrained.
Yeah.
There's no mention of a weapon. There's no mention of a threat. Like, if you don't blow me, I'll kill you.
Yeah. Sucks for 45 minutes under implied threat.
Yeah, right. If you're threatened, would you try to get it over as quickly as possible? I'd be using like both hands.
I mean, if I was in a situation where like, okay, there's no way out of this.
All right, this guy's got to come so I can go home.
Yeah.
Like,
because this isn't going to be like, you're not his girlfriend. You can't be like, there you go. Can we do something else now? No, like he's going to expect a completion. So yeah, I'd be like, yeah, okay, fine. What do you want? You want tickle your balls, pinch your nipples, like whatever takes us the least amount of minutes. Let's just power through this.
You know, if people,
I'm going to go into a fugue state.
If people ever ask us, you know, later on, hey, how come your show didn't ever become like that big? I'm going to point at this bit.
Yeah. That's what holds us back, ultimately.
I think anyone under 30 who just heard the last 5 minutes is probably horrified. And they just kept making jokes. This was an assault on a child. What we're saying is,
on a child,
we're saying after
like,
5 minutes, this stop being an assault.
This doesn't sound like an assault.
If I was forced to blow a dude, again, the date would be as November, December. Again, no.
December 23rd, 19 or whatever year.
That's the day I blew a dude against my will. I would remember that.
Yes.
Like every December 15th. Why are you mad today? Oh, that's right. It'd be nice to Chris today. Why? He'll tell you one day.
I haven't had a hot dog since a churro.
Eclairs have been ruined for me.
And nothing. Oh, no.
I can't eat popsicles. No more ice cream cones.
I tried an eclair. The frosting blew up in my mouth. And I started puking.
I go to barbecues. I fucking get PTSD and I have to leave.
Yeah.
July 4th. That's just a day of trauma for me when they do the hot dog eating contest.
And this is a whole list of things of like what not to do. Like don't buy vape carts. First of all, like if you're gonna buy cannabis illegally, you're way better off buying flour, right?
Yeah.
Like what maybe it'll have pesticides on it. That's your worst case
I don't
scenario.
know. There's been like fentanyl laced.
Okay, yeah, that's a possibility. Yes. But in general, like what goes into making what the fuck is even in that vape cart? Like don't buy illegal vape carts. It's so dumb. Don't do it off of some guy that you don't know in the parking lot. Don't be 15 and fucking vaping cannabis.
By the way, I found some audio from our friend.
They literally made me stop eating foods that were shaped like dicks. No hot dogs, no popsicles. You know how many foods are shaped like dicks? The best kind.
What was that from?
Superbad.
That's right. The best kind. Burritos.
Back when Jonah Hill was funny.
Yeah.
And Seth Rogen.
Man, he's all serious now.
Both of them are. Weren't you comedians?
Yeah. And they're like, no, we're just into making money. Like, right. Comedy's dead.
Right, yeah. Well, especially Jonah Hill, especially a lot of the comedy he was doing. He can't do some of that shit anymore.
Yeah. Yep. We all decided the R word was no good anymore. He's like, well, okay, better learn to act.
Right, yeah. No, Superbad's still great.
All right, well, let's wrap it up for this week then.
All righty then. So, social media. At the Weezer 420. Wow.
It's social media.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah. And we're at the Weezer 420 on Twitter and Facebook where you can like us and share us and retweet and all that stuff. And ChristopherMedia.net is where you can go find the other podcasts on the Christopher Media Network, as well as hit the PayPal button if you would like to help us out in any way. Social media. Evan, what's up? You send us messages all the time. We don't respond to them. We do read them. Just send them in Messenger, and I know he's like, they fucking read it. I saw that they read it. Those motherfuckers. But no, we see you. Thanks for the love. You know, he listens to because he shouts out jokes from the show. It's like, yeah, that's a listener, man.
He's actually listening.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm just not good at communicating through social media.
And wherever you listen to us, if you can rate us and review us, it helps other people find the show. That's how you do things. And I've just said so many things in the last couple of years, dude. Reviews. I look up, like, if I'm thinking about, from appliances to, I think the other day, I can't even think of something I bought. Oh, like a vacuum. It was on sale. I was like, well, is this worth it? And, the reviews, it's like 4.8. Fucking on Word. Run it. Yep. So, reviews are how people find things they like now, so if you could drop us a nice review, we'd appreciate it. Please and thank you. And you can also stay high.
Stay high.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.